Welcome to this edition of the Laurel FireWatch. I'm your co-host, Richard Blankenship. And today we're here at the Laurel Fire Department. We're going to talk to some people around here. Today's open house today for Fire Prevention Week. But not only should we practice fire prevention during this week, we should practice fire prevention safety all year long. It's important to do that. Also, this past week, the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department celebrated 115 years of service to the citizens of Laurel and the surrounding counties. That's a long time, and again, the key word here is volunteer. That's a lot of time that people put in to serve their communities. So we're going to talk to some of the people that received some awards during our annual banquet. We're going to talk to Mike Cylinder. Mike's been around for a while. Mike received the President's Award. And then we're going to interview Darren Grant, who's the Deputy Fire Chief of the Laurel Fire Department. He was chosen out of two people. There was a tie, one being Kyle Cocoon and the other one being Darren Grant for Firefighter of the Year. That is a closed ballot vote by the membership. It is counted by the mayor of the city, and the mayor presents that award to the recipients. So we got a good show planned for you today, and my co-host Dan Sheffield will be here, and he will do the interview with Darren. And like I said, we're having a good show today. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dan Sheffield. I'm with Laurel FireWatch, and I'm here today with Deputy Chief Darren Grant. Darren Grant's just recently been elected as our Member of the Year with the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department as we celebrate our 115th year in service for others. Darren, how's it feel?
I'm very honored, Dan, for the award. I didn't expect it. My peers obviously thought I had been doing an outstanding job over the past year, and with my efforts as the deputy chief, and so I ended up. Big surprise to me.
Darren, I've been around the firehouse, and you have been doing a terrific job. You're really doing good work, bringing all the members together and getting the apparatus staffed and get them out here. Tell us about your experience with the fire department.
I've roughly got a little over 34 years in the fire service, roughly almost 20 with the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department, and service elsewhere. I've been doing it since I was 16 years old. I enjoy it. It's kind of a family trait. My father, my son, my wife's even involved in it. It's one of those family things, and we enjoy being here, helping the others, serving the citizens.
Terrific. And his family is heavily involved in our fire services here at Laurel Volunteer Fire Department. So Darren, what's next?
It's hard to say. There's a lot with the fire service, and a lot that's I've got to put forth time and to try and meet different benchmarks and stuff out there, and help improve the department, help improve the members, and serve the citizens.
Darren, thanks so much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, we celebrated 115 years, and I'll talk to you about Mike Cylinder, one of the guys, a recipient of the President's Award. Mike, how'd you feel about that?
It was a surprise. Usually when I take an office, you do the job you best you can. You don't worry about the attaboys or the little perks, although it does look nice on the wall, but that's okay. Again, it's an honor, and I've been a recipient of a lot of awards and all, but usually with the President's Award or the Fire Chief's Award that I've gotten from you as well as Fire Chief, it kind of gives a little extra to keep on doing a better job for the department and for the community as well.
Good. Yeah, I know. You've been around quite a long time. Like I said, it's been 115 years. Mike and myself, we're getting ready. In another couple of years, we'll get our 50 years of service award for this department. Just between the two of us, it's almost 100 years of service to this community and the city. I know Mike, for a long time, and when I've been chief before, and he worked with me and under me, did a fantastic job. And, I did give him Chief's Award a couple of times, and he definitely deserves the awards that he gets. And I know Vic, when he picked him, he picked the right man for the job, and the award was definitely a good thing to do. And like I said, Mike does a lot of stuff. I mentioned the people around here before. He's the go-to guy when I need something, especially like fire prevention. This guy can talk anybody into giving him money. But don't ask him to borrow $1 to get a soda because you can't get it. But he'll give you multiple dollars, though, but he can get it. And great, we thank you for that. And I noticed also for the Relay for Life, and you did that one thing for us that one year, you got quite a bit of dollars on that as well. And we appreciate that, too.
The thing with the Relay for Life, we have a couple of members who died of cancer. And of course, when you get the Relay going and you start to thinking about those, as long as Katie Grimes. Katie
Right.
Grimes, Richard Grimes' daughter, she just came up with or just had, I think, her first year of cancer-free. So that hit a lot too. And then when you send the letters out, you just state your cause, and I'll send you a receipt. I'll send you whatever you want, but here's what I'm doing. And I set a goal, and I think I passed it big time, I think.
Yeah, you made quite a bit of dollars. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was up there.
Yep.
All right, Mike, thanks for coming out, and I appreciate you doing the show with us. And he keeps doing his funny face because we have an inside joke about something that happened a long time ago, and I don't want to say anything about it now. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Okay, we got a couple new members here. One's been here for 4 years, one's been here for a week. And I can remember when I first joined, when I was 16, I was happy. First night I got voted into this department, they gave me a set of turnout gear and everything. I wore it home. So, how long you been here and your name?
4 years, Crystal.
Crystal, you've been here 4 years.
Yes.
What's your plans at being a member here?
I really enjoyed. I plan to stay the long term.
Okay.
Yes.
You plan on holding any office down the road?
Eventually, yes.
So
yes.
you got some goals set for yourself for what you want to do?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
that's good.
yes.
How about you? And you've been here, what'd you say, about a week?
About a week,
Your
yeah.
name?
Max.
All right. And what's your plans for the department?
This is just a great opportunity for me to give back to the community as much as I can.
Yeah.
Just make a difference. I work in public health, so trying to explore as much of that as possible.
Well, as an old timer, I can tell you, when I first got in, I set 2 goals for myself that I wanted to do. One, I wanted to be a life member of this department, which I've met that. Another 2 years, I'll have 50 years here. I enjoyed every bit of it. The other thing is I wanted to be fire chief. I became fire chief. I was fire chief probably 13 times over the years, so I enjoyed it. One of the things here that you learn if you're interested in the career service, it helped me as a volunteer here. I retired from Harris County as the battalion chief there, but in my years' experience as a volunteer, it helped me with my job because it taught me how to treat people with respect. It gave me a lot of experience that I never would have got on the job because at that time you're working 24 hours on, 40 hours off, and then I would come here and do all my volunteer time here, and it paid off, so it was good. Because I remember one time getting stationed at a station that they would rotate us every 6 months to this one fire station. It was a little slower than the one that was in the city. So when that 6 months would come up, the other person would go back, but I'd end up staying. And I was like, I asked the chief one day, I said, well, how come I'm staying and everybody else is going back in 6 months? Well, Cat, and that's my nickname, Cat. He said, the volunteers like you so much here because of your background as a volunteer. We just want to keep you here because everybody likes you. And that made me feel good about that. So learn as much as you can here, set goals for yourself, and go get it. The training don't cost you nothing. It just costs you a little time, and get as much of that stuff as you can because that's going to help you out in the long run. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Nice meeting both of you. And good luck to you in your first week. Thank you. I'd like to see more of you. Okay, folks, you can see here we have some future firefighters in our midst right here today. They're here to look around and see all the fancy stuff we have. And Mom and Dad's with them. Dad, who are you?
I'm Jesse Smith.
And ma'am?
Ella Smith.
And you're the mom and dad, right? And
Yep.
who's this little one here?
Say Harper Smith.
Harper. Okay, and your name, sir?
Edward. Edward Smith.
Eric. All right. Well, we just want to thank you guys for coming out. I seen you looking at the fire truck, and you was up there trying to drive it. And you're having a hard time with that helmet. Don't feel bad. Some of the firefighters have a hard time too. And we just want to let the people know out there that you're going to be future firefighters. And we're glad that you stopped out to see us today. And hopefully you'll have a good time. I'm sure you will. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming, guys. Say bye. Bye.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? That's our pleasure to do that. We want to make it safe for you guys. Because one day you're going to make it safe for me when I get old and I walk like that. You're going to have to help me out. Okay?
That's right.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thank Mom and Dad. had the opportunity to interview Darren. Darren spoke a little bit about himself. But like I said, I got 48 years here, so I've had the opportunity to see Darren come up in this department and Darren grow with this department. Darren was here for a few years, and he ended up working in the career service and went somewhere else and then came back. Darren also works around the County Fire Department as a fire inspector or a fire marshal. Like I said, I've known Darren for a while. Darren's a good fire officer, a good fireman. I had a lot of good years working with him, and I'm just happy to say that he deserves that award just as much as anybody. As a recipient of the Firefighter Year myself, we welcome Darren to the club. We know Halloween's coming up. Children, when you wear your mask, make sure that you can see clearly out of the eyes. If you hear a fire truck or an ambulance coming or a police department coming, please step to the side. Don't go out to the street, because your view's being blocked with your mask on, and we just want to make sure you're safe and you have a safe holiday with Halloween. We're getting ready to go into the month of November. We're going to be changing our clocks. We're going to change our smoke alarms. We're going to change those batteries. Like I talk about this every month because I just got to make sure that you understand how important it is to have an operating smoke alarm in your house. We've already had 62 deaths in the state of Maryland this year already, and 12 or 16 of those came from the city, all in the result of not having an operating smoke alarm. Either the batteries wasn't there or they didn't have one at all. We don't want no citizen in Laurel to go around without no smoke alarm. If you don't have one, you contact the Laurel Fire Department or the Laurel Rescue Squad or either the Fire Marshal's Office for the City of Laurel. Everybody would be happy to come out and make sure you have an operating smoke alarm. January of this year, 2018, they're no longer going to sell the smoke alarms with the 9-volt battery. You can only be able to purchase the 10-year smoke alarms. We'll recommend to all the citizens that over the time that you replace the smoke alarms in your house and add the 10-year sealed units in there. Again, it's like having a firefighter in your house for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, protecting your family. The theme for this year for fire prevention is seconds count. And what they're talking about is every family needs to have an escape plan. If you don't know how to make one, again, you can contact your local fire department or rescue squad. We will be more than happy to come out and sit down with your family and show you how to draw one up. And even if you do all that, we don't mind doing that, but you got to practice that at least twice a year. And make sure the kids understand how to get out of the house if there is a fire. You know, make sure that they roll out of bed if they hear the smoke alarm. We teach children to sleep with the doors closed. You need to test your smoke alarm at least once a month, and you need to let the kids go into the room, lay on the bed and close the door, and let them hear the sound of the smoke detector. It's going to be a lot different sound when the door's open compared to the door being closed. They need to hear the sound where they sleep. So again, please, when it's time to change the clocks, change the batteries, and if you can't do that, let us know. We'll be glad to come out and help you. On behalf of my co-host Dan Sheffield and myself, and my man Paul Kirkrick, who's in the background every month doing this on his own time, we appreciate that. We thank you for watching this edition of the Laurel FireWatch, and we will see you next month on the current one.